Good day, good morning, and afternoon for all who are watching. This is Tracy Brown, your somatic nutrition counselor, attuned eating and body image specialist. And this week we have been talking a little bit about getting help, why it is that we sometimes don't keep the help, reject the help, can't take it in. And a lot of that has to do with, again, another way that we've been trained quite a bit, which is, not always having a voice or feel like that we have a voice to push back. And so this is what today's video is about. And that can look a lot of different ways. So sometimes the pushback is going to be in our own minds. And that's mostly what this video is going to be talking about is I don't know what the number is. I'm not going to even say it because I know I'm going to get it wrong because I didn't do any research prior to doing this video. But what is it? Is it 60,000, 600,000? I don't know what it is, thoughts that we have a day. And so all that's running in our minds. And so if that's what's happening naturally, and I don't know how much that would include diet talk or food rules or whatever, but think about this. Our brains use obsessive rules and counting and calorie counting and macros and all that kind of stuff as a way to try to get something right, to try to protect ourselves, to try to accomplish something, or at least that's what we think we're doing when we're trying to manage our food. And so imagine if that's your system of being safe, if that's what you lean towards for safety, you're going to add to that mix and that pile of stuff in your head that's spinning, and actually not giving you the lasting peace that you want. So one of the things, the title of this video is pushing back, is that's what I'm suggesting today is when you're having those thoughts about calories, my body's so gross, whatever, is you can push back against that. You do have some say. Now, I'm not saying that's easy to do or that it's not the end all be all of the kind of care and support that we need, but it's a tool. So being able, there's a couple ways we're going to talk about pushing back here in a minute. And one of them is when you're hearing all that fat is bad or sugar is bad or whatever, a couple ways you can deal with that. And I'll just give you two. It's no, being afraid of those things is not life affirming. Totally isn't. And you can draw out a whole picture of all the ways in which if you did a pro-con list on yourself, which is what I have a lot of people do in my attuned eating for attuned living training, is okay, so the pursuit of thinness, you're doing all these different behaviors you think you need to do to get the pros of that, which will, whatever protective things you think the thinness gives you, you can do that. And then the con of it, all the things, that list is usually a mile long for everybody, of all the reasons in which it totally backfires. Something quicker and simpler than that, which I hope you all have done that before. But if you haven't, please do. But there's a level of wait a minute. I can look back over my history and see that never really got me lasting peace. So we're going to ignore that thought and we're going to do something life affirming, which is I'm going to eat what I need to eat. I'm not going to push off my meals. I'm going to eat a snack because it's been a couple hours and, if your hunger, fullness signals aren't accurate yet, I probably need to do that. If they're pretty accurate, you probably have a little bit of a base of recognizing, I probably need to do that. It's been a bit and I can kind of feel that. So those are some things we need to do is push back against any thoughts essentially that aren't life affirming. All right, so whether it's food, calorie counting, I'm going to push off my meal, screw it, I messed up, so I might as well eat. We can push back against those thoughts and just find your feet on the ground and say, nope, I've done that for 2 weeks, 2 years, 20 years. That has never given me lasting peace, so it's not going to happen now. And it gives you an opening and a space to be more curious. I wonder what's going on right now that I'm leaning back on that old spinning tape in my head. So that's your own internal way. The external way is, honestly, food and healing from an eating disorder, for me personally, has been the doorway in to seeing so many things in our world that teach us to be a certain way that just isn't good for us. And so, but for most of it starts with this doorway in with food, doorway with food. And you can see that by my little example yesterday. If you saw it online, I had made that little infographic in it. and I saw this because I was at the grocery store last weekend. And this is the messages we got to push back against. Like on one side of the happy, smiley, perfect looking woman, it's make all these really decadent, yummy, delicious, energy dense things, cakes and pies and whatever. And then on the other side of her is like, and learn my 3 keto secrets for fast weight loss. That's around us everywhere we go. And your job with the, I'm hoping with this video is it just wakes you up to like, this is around me all the time. And so the way you can push back on that message is just like, I see you, and I'm going to go internal and listen to my own body's wisdom. I don't need this and this to tell me how I can be more content or be more happy. I don't need both of these dichotomies here, pulling me around everywhere, getting me confused and getting me lost. It is a distraction. And most of us didn't know that. And it's almost like it's a distraction that's an overlay on the pain that we had before that was even a thing that made us feel more vulnerable. So you've got two ways in pushing back. Your own internal wanting to do things that haven't really got you the peace and the safety that you ever wanted, i.e. food rules, getting thinner, whatever. And then the external way that's kind of like blasting at you. And your job is to like, whoa, no wonder I'm feeling so like out of like sync or not really grounded or not feeling really okay right now because I'm around that. And our job isn't to like, it's almost like there's a level of, we could talk back and out about it like I'm doing right now. And there's a level of just for our own peace of mind. It's like, I see that. And it doesn't control me anymore because I see it. And I can, now that I see it, I can make a decision about it and I have choice. And once we have some level of like locus of control of like, this is happening outside of me and I can choose now how to navigate that, you're not under control anymore. So that's the stuff I'm asking you to do, to push back around. It's like whatever you're seeing out there, and you can apply this to everything. I'm talking about food. I'm talking about body image. So when you see the commercials, like, get the cream to smooth out your legs or whatever it is, it's like, I don't think my legs got a problem actually. I can put on lotion, sure, if I want to like have, use it as a self-care tool, or I've got dry skin or whatever, you totally can do that. But it's not because your legs are messed up or you got the wrong ones or something's wrong with them. It's just a thing to make you feel like if you don't have that, then you aren't something. You aren't good enough. And that's what we want to wake up from. So anyway, my 2 little tips for pushing back around this. And all of this goes back to the theme of this week, which is relationship with our food, with our body, and relationship with nurturance. And this is the way we nurture ourselves, is by having that like kind of mama bear or papa bear understanding that like there are things out there and in our own heads that want to take us away from our own groundedness, ourself. And internally it might feel like because, well, inside doesn't feel so good and it's kind of scary. Or I don't have it just feels hard. I'm like, totally get that. That's why support is important. And the external is like, yeah, we want to get to the place where everybody and their brother can be on a diet. And you're like, well, but I got my hunger fullness signals and I know what foods work for me. And that out there doesn't work for me and my peacefulness. So, everybody can be doing it, and that's what they're doing. But I'm over here doing my thing and I'm okay. That's really where we want to go. So I hope this video was helpful. Please share it with anybody that you think this would help. If you heard me, I didn't even do a sound check. So did anybody hear me? Like, sound okay? Because I didn't go outside today, so I put these in because sometimes there's an echo in here. But anyway, so if you can hear me fine, please give me a thumbs up or something like that, so I can know that like this came through and you weren't just okay. Cool. Thank you, Megan. Appreciate it. All right, so if you all have any comments or questions, please put it below, tag me. If you are on my email list, I've been putting out some little email, I'm pretty sure things went out Sunday, today, and Friday. I'm not sure. I think those are the right dates. So a little bit of a special, got some specials kind of going on. So if you're interested in support that maybe you've been waiting to have a little more access to, that is happening. And so hopefully you can get a hold of that and email me if you have questions. Otherwise, I will talk to you in the next video. Take care.